What's up guys, how you doing? Welcome to another video, and today we're talking about how you can make your footage from this, the DJI Osmo Action, how you can make it look more cinematic. I think it's going to be a great video. Let's go. That's right, so we're going to be looking today in Premiere Pro about a few simple things that I do in order to improve my footage from the Osmo Action and how to make it look more cinematic. Don't worry, it's nothing too complicated, it's all fairly basic, a few simple tricks that I do to improve the colour slightly, play a little bit with the highlights and shadows, and another little trick that I always do to improve the quality of the footage, especially when it comes to making it look more cinematic. Going to spin around in 1 second and have a look on the desktop. Going to show you exactly how it's done, and hopefully you will learn loads from this one. So let's spin around and have a look in the desktop. Let's go. Okay, so we are over here at the computer. Let's have a look. We're in Premiere Pro. Let's do something with this clip. Okay, so we've got the clip on the timeline. Now the first thing that I am going to do is to add an adjustment layer. Now we do that just down here on the left. We select adjustment layer. Yep. And then we're going to drag that over the top of our clip. Going to run that out so it's the whole length of our clip. Now the first thing which I'm going to do is to play with the colour. So let's just get to a piece. Obviously the sunlight changes in this image halfway through. So let's get to a piece that's kind of fairly sort of general, probably around like here maybe. Then we're just going to jump over to the colour tab in Premiere Pro. Okay, so when you're in the colour tab, first thing you want to do is make sure that you have got down here in the bottom in your timeline, make sure that you've got the adjustment layer selected, not the clip, right? Because we want to make all the changes on the adjustment layer. So let's make this nice and big so we can see what we've got going on. Straight away, I can see here, we need to bring down some of the highlights. So we're going to bring those highlights down a little bit. In fact, we're probably also going to bring down the whites a little bit too, because in this kind of area of the image, we're sort of fully blown out. But that's fine because that kind of comes in and out a little bit, and so it's not really going to be too much of a concern. Going to tweak the shadows slightly. I don't think we need to really do too much contrast because we've already got a fairly contrasty image. Slight little bit maybe. In creative, definitely going to sharpen this a little bit. Definitely going to bring out that vibrance. Want to really try and get the colours out of this. And speaking of colours, if we go into curve, into the hue saturation curve, you can actually play with some of the colours. And obviously this is about the sky, right? So I want to bring these blues right out if I can. And perhaps a little of some of these greens down here, or kind of yellows. That's picked. Let's get some of these. Let's try and get some of these greens. Here we go. I'm just going to bring that ever so slightly. Not too much on the greens, just a little bit. I think we're getting there. Just come back. Just going to bring these shadows slightly more up. Tweak those highlights a little bit more. I think that probably feels about right for me. Now that's the basic colour correction done, right? You can see what I mean. I haven't done too much to it. It's just about tweaking it, and depending on the type of clip you've got, you just want to play with those colours, plays with the highlights, the shadows, just until you get that image looking kind of vibrant. You got the colour that you want in it, right? Now the other thing I do with my Osmo Action footage to give it that more cinematic feel is I add the anamorphic bars on the bottom and top. Now adding the bars is really easy, but you can also do a cool animation where they come into the picture. I'm going to show you how we do both those right now. So first of all, let's just add them on, and then we'll make it so they kind of roll in like Peter McKinnon style. Let's go. So first of all, in terms of actually how we add them in, that's really easy. On this adjustment layer, you want to come over here to your effects panel. If you just search crop in here, you can just pick the crop effect, drag that down onto your adjustment layer. Now from there, you want to come over to effect controls, and down here in the actual crop, we're going to add a little bit of crop on the top. For me, for this, I normally add 10%. And then you see already that's added the bar on the top, and then you do exactly the same on the bottom, 10% on the bottom as well, and that has added the bar on the bottom. So there we go. We've got the bars on the bottom and the top, and our clip is looking better. Next thing we want to do is make it so they roll in. That's actually really easy to do. We're basically going to do that with keyframes. So the way you're going to do that, right, you want to come over to the start of your clip. Now over here in your effect controls, you're just going to tick these two little kind of animations, toggle animation, this is here, you see that pops up on the screen. Now what that is doing is kind of selecting almost like our starting point for these keyframes. Now this is where we need to decide how long we want these to roll in for. They can come in really slowly, they can come in fast, it really depends. Normally for me, you would want this to last like 2-3 seconds, something like that. So let's go for like 2.5 seconds. So the way you do that, from your starting point, you want to hold down Shift and your right hand arrow, and you just want to come across, that's going to jump you across sort of each keyframe until probably what, we want to come across about 20 or something, 2.2 seconds, there we go, that would do nicely. And then all you're going to do is click over here where this says add or remove keyframe, and we are adding the keyframes in. Next thing you want to do is jump back to the beginning, which you can do just by pressing this little arrow right here, and you see that's jumped to the beginning of our keyframe up the top here, and you're just going to turn these back to 0 on the top and bottom. Now what that has done is that has made those roll in here, and you can see on the picture if we start this frame moving, you see they roll in, there we go, and then they stay for the rest of the clip. So there we go, we've improved the colour, we've got our anamorphic bars in. The only other thing I'm going to do to this is add some music to it, because adding music makes a clip more cinematic than just about any other way that you can do it, right? So I've already picked a music clip, which I like. This is one from Epidemic Sound. I'll talk about that separately, don't worry. Gonna drag that into our timeline. Now we don't do any editing really with it, we don't have any cuts or chops or changes that we need to worry about. All in there already. I'm just going to trim it off at the end so it's the same length as the actual clip, and here we go. Now we have our full clip ready to go. Right, let's turn around back to the desk and I'll show you how it looks. And that's all we've done, guys. Simple as that. Nothing too complicated, some fairly basic tweaks, and I think you will agree it's made the footage look a lot better. We've taken a very simple clip, very bland, not too much colour in it. We've increased that vibrance, made it a little bit more punchy, and of course those anamorphic bars have really created that like cinematic feel, which I really love with the Osmo Action. If you guys did enjoy it, do me a favour, hit that like button. It helps me out loads and loads on my channel, and I really, really appreciate it. Think about subscribing if you haven't already. Loads of other videos on my channel. We've got Osmo Action videos, we've got photography, videography, sports photography videos, a whole host of stuff, so check it out if you would like to. Got another couple of cool Osmo Action videos on the way over the course of the next few weeks. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next video.